So when you're looking for a way to challenge yourself when you're working out at home, it can be hard to find things that are heavy enough. So for example, I have a video on how to do a dumbbell bent row substituting for dumbbells bottles of water. Okay? That's great, but they're not that heavy. So what do? Some of you may be lucky enough to have gallon bottles of some fluid around. You might have a couple. That would be significantly heavier than these. A gallon bottle of water ends up being about 8.5 pounds. It's not a insignificant weight. 500 milliliters is about a pound. A liter is about 2 pounds, right? And then you've got these things, 5-gallon bottles of water, okay? So 1 gallon is about 8.5 pounds. Then these 5-gallon bottles of water, well, they're over 40 pounds, about 42.5 pounds. Now that's a significant amount of weight. So, first off, let me describe a dumbbell bent row, substituting with something from your house, and then I'm going to show you 2 different ways of using a water bottle like this to do the exercise, okay? So, what is a dumbbell bent row? Well, what I'm doing is I'm working the lat muscle, and I'm doing that by bending over, keeping my back straight, my core tight, my neck is straight, I'm not down like this, I'm not up like that, so tight core, pull my shoulder blades back, just bend forward, keep everything the same, let the arms dangle, breathe in, out, pull up by squeezing my shoulder blades together. And I want to think, the cue is pull my elbows to the ceiling. People sometimes will start doing this, they'll start curling during this motion. The range of motion you want is with the elbows, okay? So you want the elbows coming up past the back. You want the shoulders and the elbows moving as much as possible, okay? Not just a curl, but a row. So it's like you're in a boat rowing a boat, okay? So remember, keep the core tight, the back straight, the head straight. Now, the breathing, as I said, is in as you release and out as you pull into your body. That's one that people get wrong often, okay? They want to breathe in and out. That's yoga breathing, and that's great for yoga, but unfortunately when you're lifting weights and you start to get heavier, especially like this, you really need to be breathing properly because it helps you brace your core and keep yourself stable. That's what a tight core is about. Okay, so how do I do a bent row with these? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to them and I'm going to tighten everything, and I'm going to deadlift down to pick them up. There's 1, 2, and I'm going to stand up, move away from the rack. I'm going to put my legs fairly close together because these things are going to run into them otherwise, okay? And from here, I'm just going to bend over and breathe in. Everything's tight, and same thing, elbows to the ceiling. Okay? When I've done the prescribed number of reps, bring them back to the rack, and tight, deadlift down. That's one way of doing them. Another way is, I can do it with just one. So that was a total of almost 90 pounds. Now I'm going to do half that, about 42.5, okay? So, just grab the bottle like this, and everything's the same. Bend over. I don't have much of a range of motion here though. That's the only problem. So this is more like a partial row. So if you could find yourself gallon bottles of water, or a gallon of something, 2 of them, that might be better, okay? So that's a way of progressing from something that's about 1.5 pounds or 2 pounds to the gallon size, which is about 8.5 pounds, and if you get really strong, you can go to the 42.5 pounds, okay? I want to talk about one more thing, which is the rhythm of the pull, okay? The cue that you want to remember is to squeeze your shoulder blades, release your shoulder blades. Squeeze and release. If you do that, you cannot go wrong, because the idea is you want your shoulder blade to contract first, then your shoulder moves, then your elbow moves. And then the reverse happens. Elbow, shoulder, shoulder blade, shoulder, elbow, elbow, shoulder, shoulder blade. Okay, but it happens a lot faster. You don't want to actually slow it down and try and go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's all. And if you're thinking about pulling your shoulder blades together, like I said, you can't go wrong. So there it is. This is a heavy dumbbell bent row done with regular household items and without dumbbells in the home.